We are just setting up to go live on YouTube. Welcome, tuning in from Ghana. Awesome. Okay. Who else is here? Okay. Fabulous. Okay. Applied statistics. Great. Okay. Welcome everyone. My name is Violet Kind. I am the International Enrollment Coordinator here at the Carnegie International Center at Minnesota State University, Mankato. Today we are going to talk about the whole I-20 and visa prep process. So we're going to hopefully help you with making things a little bit clearer, with just making this process a little bit more easy to navigate. So if you have questions along the way, you can feel free to put them in the chat. If I don't get to them during the presentation, we'll have time for them afterward. But anyway, it's exciting to be here and exciting to think about the fall semester just being around the corner. We are, let's see here, little over 3 months out from orientation, which is required and very helpful. So make sure that you plan to be here ready to go on August 17th. So you'll actually want to be here at least the day before on August 16th. Okay, well, we will go ahead and hop right in here. So today we're going to be talking about requesting your I-20. If you haven't done that yet, the deadline is June 1st. So we have a little under a month left to do that. We're going to talk about how to pay your SEVIS I-901 fee. We're going to talk about how to schedule your visa interview and then prepare for your visa interview. So we have lots of resources for you today. Let's talk about the first step though. So requesting your I-20. So we have a very nice way of doing this. We have lots of international students at Minnesota State University, Mankato. I'm sure you've heard that. So we've really streamlined the process for you. So basically, once you are admitted to the university, you are going to be invited into to set up your school email account. From there, you'll get an invite to our international portal. And in your international portal, is where you're going to request your I-20. And that's probably where you found out about this webinar. So hopefully you've already logged into the international portal. So you want to make sure that you give yourself enough time to really sit down and go through everything. You don't want to rush this. Making a mistake on your I-20 is not ideal. So we just want to do it right the first way through, hopefully. So make sure that you give yourself a nice quiet space to sit down, go through everything, make sure everything looks correct. There's a little space on there where you can, if you have any updates or anything that needs to be changed, you can submit that there. So just make sure that you're really taking your time as you work through this process. So once you submit everything, the important thing to do is to make sure you continue to check your MAV mail, which is your school email account. Because if we have any updates for you, like, hey, we have a question about something that you've submitted. Hey, we need something different. We need this, this, or that in order to complete your I-20. We're going to tell you there. And we don't want you to miss the deadline because you didn't check your MAV mail. You didn't see that, oh, I needed to submit this thing or update this thing or clarify something. So we'll also notify you through your MAV mail when your I-20 is ready for download. So that's also very important. So just make sure that you get in the habit of checking your MAV mail regularly. This is also great because once you are here on campus, then you'll kind of already be in the habit of checking your MAV mail, which is where you'll get a lot of updates from the school, from your professors, and so on. So once you have gone through the I-20 process, you successfully have downloaded your I-20, then it's time for you to prepare to go get your visa appointment. So you're going to want to schedule your visa appointment. And before you have your visa appointment, you need to pay the SEVIS I-901 fee. So as you'll see here, you go to fmjfee.com /I-901 fee. So it's a $350 payment and it's valid for 12 months. So if you end up going to your visa appointment and you don't get your visa and you end up scheduling again within that time frame, you can still use this same CVIS payment and CVIS ID. So this is going to be basically attached to your CVIS record that we have created. This is something that you'll just want to make sure that you keep the receipt for, save it somewhere safe. And then what else was I going to say? Um, I also wanted to point out that this payment does not go to MSU. This is something that goes to the US government. This is kind of the fee that you pay so that they can track your STEVIS record. It's an essential part of the process. So prepare to pay that $350. It's a lot of money, but it's essential in order to complete this process. So to complete this, you will need your STEVIS ID. You'll need last name, given name, and date of birth. So you'll find your CVIS ID on that I-20. So you can just have that handy as you go to pay this fee. So after you pay the fee, we're going to schedule your visa interview. You're going to fill out the DS-160. Now, this process is going to take longer than probably your I-20 request or paying the CVIS fee. So just make sure that you give yourself a good amount of time, probably a few hours. Just schedule that out, sit down in a quiet place, ready to fill all of this stuff out. So you're going to search for a U.S. embassy or consulate near you. And then you will complete the DS-160 online non-immigrant visa application. And this, you'll pay a $185 visa fee to schedule that appointment. So the DS-160 goes through all different kinds of information. And basically, this is like the first exercise in trust between you and the US government. So you want to make sure that you're filling everything out very detailed, very honestly. You want to make sure that everything really matches up to your I-20 and that you're getting all of this information correct. So make sure that you are saving your progress along the way here, because as you work on the DS-160, it's going to uh, it's there are different places where you can save it so that you don't lose your progress. So just be prepared for that. So here are our official tips. Set aside at least 90 minutes to complete this, or maybe even more, just because, again, we want to make sure that you are filling everything out the correct way. You want to prepare a photo for the DS-160 before you begin filling out the application. So this is kind of similar to like a passport photo. You can read the requirements about this online, but just make sure you have that prior to going through this process. So that'll save you some time and make this more efficient. For the US point of contact information that the DS-160 will ask you for, it might feel counterintuitive, but you want to select the do not know. You don't want to actually put a name here. So this is because we have multiple DSOs here at MSU, and so we'll all be available to assist you. So the organization name will be Minnesota State University Mankato. Relationship to you is school official. And then we have our US street address, Centennial Student Union 250, City, Mankato, State, Minnesota, zip code 56001. Our phone number is 507-389-1281. And our email is international@mnsu.edu. So feel free to take a little screenshot of that to help you when you do go to fill out the DS-160. Okay, so one thing that is on the DS-160 is a portion about social media. So you want to make sure that you are filling everything out truthfully on this DS-160. Again, it's your first kind of exercise in trust with the US government. And this is something that the visa officer is going to be looking at potentially before they meet with you. While they meet with you, they want to make sure that everything that you're saying matches up to what's on the DS-160. They're using an automated system to locate your accounts and preview your posts when it comes to social media. So you really want to make sure that you are listing everything, um, and not just, like, I don't know, you even accounts that you maybe don't really use that much, you want to make sure that you put that on that too. It's just a way to show that you have like this is everything. This is me. This is my full online presence. Um, and then for the Facebook section, because a lot of people maybe have the same first name and given name, like you want to make sure, or last name and given name, you want to make sure that you actually put the link, the full URL to your personal Facebook page underneath there. So that way they don't have to scroll through a bunch of different people that maybe have the same name as you to find your account. You want to make sure this is as easy and simple as possible for them to find your accounts. Okay, so once you have filled out the DS-160 and scheduled your visa appointment, we need to talk about preparing for the actual visa interview itself. So here are the things that you're going to want to bring to your visa interview. Again, feel free to screenshot this. So we have our I-20. We need to make sure that it is printed and it is signed. We want to make sure we have our passport. We want our CVIS I-901 fee payment receipt. We want our visa application fee payment receipt, the photo for the visa if the upload fails on the DS-160. We want our admission letter from MSU. And if you are having any trouble locating that, you can always reach out to us at international@mnsu.edu and we can show you how to find that. You'll want to have the bank statement from your sponsor, academic transcripts from previous study, proof of English proficiency, and then documentation of ties to your home country if you have anything that will help with that. So it's a really good idea to bring this all in a folder with you so that, you're not scrambling, trying to like find papers from your bag or whatever. You just want to have this neat and organized and ready to go because your visa interview is going to be really quick. And if they do want to see anything, you want to be able to grab this as quickly as possible. So be prepared. They might not, need to look at much at all, but you want to be there and you want to make sure you have it just in case they do. So, okay. Now, here are some really helpful resources that we have, or that a lot of students use. So, Argo Visa, this is a YouTube account. So, of course, you can watch videos for free. So, you can find that on YouTube. We have the US Department of State, travel.state.gov. Another great resource is NAFSA's top 10 visa points to remember. And then something really nice that we offer at MSU is a visa prep session. So you can actually meet with a student or with a staff member and actually go through the whole process. You kind of do like a mock interview. You can ask questions about the visa interview and so on to make sure that you are ready and prepared for this very, very short visa interview. It's really nice if you can actually practice what you're going to say. You don't want it to be like scripted or totally rehearsed. It needs to be honest, but it's good if you can kind of be succinct and really have those talking points ready so that when you get up there, if you're feeling nervous, you don't, go on and kind of, are grasping at what you need to say. You just want to be prepared for this and be as succinct as possible. So, okay. This part is very important. So, basically, a visa officer, when they're interviewing you, is assuming that you have immigrant intent until you prove otherwise. So, we're going to talk about how you can talk about this. This is ties to your home country. So, this is a reason to return home after you complete your US program. So, this is saying, yes, I want to come here on a non-immigrant F1 visa to study at MSU, and then my intention is to return home. And that's why an F1 visa makes sense for my situation. So, um, things that you can mention, maybe family or friends that you have back home, like maybe you're coming over here to get a degree and then your plan is to go back. and help a family member with their business, start a business with, you know, family or something like that. Maybe you have a career opportunity. Whoops, talking with my hand so much that I hit the space bar. Let's go back here. Okay. Maybe you already have a career opportunity lined up, but your career opportunity requires a very specific degree that you need to get in the US. That would be a tie to your home country. Maybe you're just continuing education based on what you've already done. So how to demonstrate this? Visa offers will not ask you about ties directly. So this needs to be part of your story as you present yourself to this visa officer. And this visa interview is going to be a few minutes maximum. So it's going to go fast. Everything that you answer should point to your intent to return. So, we're going to, again, hopefully practice this a lot prior to having your visa interview, but you don't want it to be dishonest. You don't want it to be totally scripted, or you don't want to sound like a robot when you're talking to them. You want this to sound like it's, your genuine truth, like you are, this is my plan, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I need to return home. So you want to give concrete examples, not just like, and then I'm going to go home. Why are you going to go home? Why is there good reason for you to return home after you've been here? You really want to like make sure that this is something that you've thought through prior to your visa interview so that you're not scrambling to try and figure this out while you're standing in front of a visa officer. So you want to identify your ties prior to the interview. So show the visa officer your plans to leave the US and go back to your home country. So prepare to answer these questions. Why do you want to study in the US and at this university? So maybe you don't want to be super vague about this, like, oh, I like the US and um, this university is the first one I applied to and got into, or something, we don't want to do that. So you want to be specific about why the US and why Mankato? Why do you want to come to MSU? Do we have opportunities that you've been looking for? Is this a specific program that you've been looking for? You really want to make it specific to what we offer and why it is here specifically that you need to come for your degree. So, what are your academic goals in the US? So, not just I want to study, I want to, get this degree, but beyond that, what are your academic goals? Did you apply to any other schools? You want to be honest about this. It's okay if you've applied to other schools. You just need to kind of be, again, honest about this and then say why you ultimately chose Minnesota State University. So, who will be paying for your studies? So, if this is a parent, you know, you can say, "Oh, my mom is planning to pay for this, and this is why, or this is how." Um, what are your plans after you finish school? So, do you plan to return home and use this degree because of the career opportunity that you already have at home? Have you noticed something at home that like you are hoping to fix with your degree, like maybe kind of a gap that needs to be filled, and you think that this certain study path will help you to fix this problem that you've noticed in your home area? Um, and then ties to your home country. What is your motivation to return after completing your education? So, again, why do you want to return home? What will this degree do for you when you come back home? So, on the day of your actual visa interview, hopefully by now you've kind of worked through all of those questions we just talked about. I really recommend sitting down and thinking about them, maybe journaling about them, writing them down, kind of figuring this out, sorting through it in your head prior to getting here so that when you show up, you are ready, you are confident, everything is succinct. These visa officers interview so many people every single day and you only get a few minutes in front of them. So if you can make their job easier by just explaining what you need to explain as succinctly and honestly as possible, it's going to be a lot easier for them to do their job. So, um, when you get to the embassy or consulate, you're going to go through a security checkpoint upon arrival. We recommend leaving technology like your phone outside of the embassy with your friends or a family member. Just make a plan for how you're going to meet up after this. And then prepare for your interview to be in English. So it's really good to prepare actually speaking through the visa interview. So again, you can take advantage of things that we offer, like our visa prep sessions. They're free. You can actually talk to somebody, work through these questions in English. We'll give you feedback so that you can kind of work through the process. And then you can also record yourself if you wanted to, try working through this in English, listen back to it. You could sit down with a trusted like family member or friend, kind of talk through the process. Um, just, make sure that you are, again, kind of working through this prior to showing up there because, again, you're going to get a few minutes maybe with this visa officer. It's going to go really quickly. So the visa interview will be a stand-up window like we have pictured here. You want to have your documents organized and give them to the consular officer when they ask. So again, we want to have this in a folder, organized and ready to go, not crumpled up in a bag or anything like that. You also want to dress for success. So again, your impression that you're making on the visa officer is going to happen really, really quickly. You're going to be up there for a few minutes and then it's over. So you want to show up looking, a little bit professional, like you are somebody that's serious about what you're about to do. So, try and avoid wearing like clothes that have holes in them. Make sure everything is clean. Make sure you've, showered and, taken care of yourself, good hygiene. You just want to really make a good, positive impression on the visa officer. You don't have to go in there wearing like a full suit and tie. Just, wear something that you would maybe wear to a job interview or something that you would wear PJ always likes to say, to your grandma's house, something that would just be, would make a really good impression. And then make sure that you eat a good meal beforehand because sometimes you're going to be stuck waiting in line for a long time. So um, I don't know about you, but if I go too long without eating, I start to feel a little bit shaky, and sometimes it just makes me a little more nervous and anxious than I need to be, or hangry, as we sometimes say. So you just want to make sure that you are eating something that is going to make like not add any more chaos to your, your big day where you might be feeling a little nervous already. So eat some protein, eat a good meal, something that'll keep you feeling satisfied while you are waiting for your visa interview. And finally, I know it sounds like maybe this isn't the easiest thing to do, but relax. When you show up for your visa interview, again, it's going to be over really quickly. And hopefully, you've showed up here today to listen to this visa prep session, which is a really positive sign. You're taking the time out of your day to, learn about the process and again, we have all of those resources that we mentioned. We have these visa prep sessions. You can journal. There's all kinds of things that you can do to make sure that when you show up on this day, you know exactly what you're going to say. You are, not word for word, but you know the points that you're trying to make. You're very clear about what it is that you're coming to study, why you're going to be returning home, and you can just, explain that to the visa officer, and that will be that. So be calm and concise. So hopefully after that, um, there's generally a little bit of processing time so that they can look at social media things and all that. But then hopefully you have your visa and you're ready to come over here for the fall 2026 semester. So um, we require, again, orientation. It is on campus. It is very helpful. It's fun. It's mandatory. So you do have to be here. This week is when you are going to register for classes. We're going to pair you with an academic advisor, and this is where you'll get registered for the fall semester. So um, not only that, but a lot of other things that happen are very important. So um, this is Monday, August 17th through Friday, August 21st. You'll want to arrive on or before August 16th. So that's a Sunday. The first day you can enter the US is July 17th, 2026. So that's 30 days before your program start date listed on your I-20. You'll see that date on there too. So anyway, that is our visa prep and I-20 request session. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap things up today? We are very excited to meet you. Um, the fall semester is, I think, extra exciting. The weather is beautiful. We have a lot of students joining us for the first time ever. Um, I know it can seem scary to, you know, go to another country and do something totally new, start a new academic journey. But the nice thing is that you're doing that with a lot of other international students who are also in the same exact situation. You know, they've left their country to come here and embark on a totally new adventure. So this orientation week is really nice because it will kind of ground you in the campus. You'll get to know a bunch of other international students and students that are already here on campus. We have peer mentors that are pictured here on the slides. Um, it's just a really great way to kind of sink into the experience and get acquainted. So, um, the link for the visa prep session, yes, happy to share that with you. And if anybody wants this resource, who's watching this after the live session, please feel free to email international@mnsu.edu. Either me or one of my international enrollment assistants will get back to you with that information. Okay, I put that in the chat there for the visa prep session. So again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions as you kind of go through this process. Um, It's a lot, but you can do it. We've had a lot of students do it before. We're here to help you if you need anything. Again, international@mnsu.edu. Reach out to us. We will answer your questions as best we can or point you to somebody that can. Um, and yeah, we're again super excited to have you join us here on campus. So we have some more upcoming webinars. May 13th, we have Understanding Tuition and Fees. May 27th, there's a visa prep session webinar. June 3rd, there is placement testing. We'll talk about what that is, how to sign up for it, who needs to do it. And then we also have some upcoming Instagram lives. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, you should. It gives a really good glimpse into kind of what the international student experience is here on campus. I think one thing that makes our campus unique is that we host a lot of really awesome events for our students year round. So I know we have a really exciting series of summer events. So you'll kind of get to see a sneak preview of what you might get to do next summer when you're here. Um, so yeah, so go follow us on Instagram. It's at KICMNSU. And then we have this little coffee with KIC live Instagram session that we do. It's a little bit more laid back than these webinars are. So, you can chat with us, ask us questions, you know, ask us if we are, you know, if we like cats or dogs better. Just kind of get to know the people of the Kearney International Center a little bit better. And yeah, so hopefully you can join us tomorrow. We have one at 10 a.m. on Instagram. And then there is also a full calendar, a pre-arrival calendar that you should have as well with all of the upcoming online things that are going to be happening. Um, so yeah, any other questions before we wrap up for the day? So we have this visa prep session. webinar on May 27th. So that's going to be more like this style where I'm kind of talking to you on Zoom or YouTube, and we're talking about ways that you can prepare for the visa appointment. That one is going to be a little more in depth than we went today, just because today we covered a little bit more, including what happens before you actually like get to the visa appointment. Or sorry, what happens before you even, schedule your visa appointment. So that one's going to be really helpful. We also have recordings on our YouTube channel of all of our previous webinars that we've hosted too. So you can look at those. And then the visa prep sessions with students and staff. Um, Again, if you need that link, you can just email us international@mnsu.edu. All right, everyone. Best of luck. Again, don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything, and we will see you in August. About 3 months to go. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll